Welcome, everyone, to the Peapod. So glad that you are here with us today. I'm just going to take a moment and share with you a welcome message.
Welcome to the Peapod. And just like the peas in a pea pod, each human is here to have experiences that will contribute to the growth of all. Here at the Peapod, we will examine some of these experiences and glean the lessons learned, the truth uncovered, and come to a deeper understanding through our sharing. So grab your popcorn, get comfortable, maybe even a paper and pen, and get ready for an amazing time with your hostess, Terry Angel, a woman on a mission to bring change, especially in the arena of peace, into our world. And here she is.
Thank you to my friends out there and to everyone who is tuning into this. Welcome to the Peapod. You know, the angels told me one day that we are all like peas in a pea pod. We're all like-minded. We are all made from the same energy, the same source that feeds us. And we just try to spread that message as far and wide as we can, and especially in the arena of peace, because that is my heart's desire, is to have more peace on earth. And what does that even look like? You know, I talk to many people along my journey about peace and ask, what is your vision of peace? What does that mean? Because it means different things to different people. And that is our topic today, is peace. So what I hear most of the time is about inner peace. There's a lot of talk about what's going on in the world and things we have no control over. We have control over inner peace. So listen to these statements and see if you maybe hear this common theme throughout and if you can resonate. St. Francis de Sales said, never be in a hurry. Do everything quietly and in a calm spirit. Do not lose your inner peace for anything whatsoever, even if your whole world seems upset. Norman Vincent Peale said, the life of inner peace, being harmonious and without stress, is the easiest type of existence. Our Dalai Lama said, do not let the behavior of others destroy your inner peace. And Ralph Waldo Emerson said, nobody can bring you peace but yourself. I'd love to introduce these two ladies. Y'all have met MarBeth before. She's been on the Peapod with us. And I'm so happy to welcome you back, MarBeth Dunn. Thank you for being here today.
Oh, thank you for having me. I always love coming here.
I love having you. You're like this beautiful energy every time you come into the Peapod. And anytime I'm connected with you in life. I want to introduce to our Peapod, Tezikiah Gabriel. Tez, welcome. I am so happy that you're here.
Thank you. I am just honored and delighted to be here. Thank you.
Oh, Tezikiah is with a wonderful organization called Pathways to Peace. And boy, that is a vision that I hold, the pathway to peace. And how do we get there? How do we get on that path? And I think a lot of us have that vision with you. And I just would love to just start this conversation with, how do we get into that mindset of, I want to be on that path, not the one that goes into all the chaos and confusion, but how do I bring myself into this energy of being on a pathway to peace?
Well, thank you for that beautiful question. Well, at Pathways to Peace, we always say you are a pathway to peace, regardless of where you've been, what you're doing, what your vision is for where you're going. You are a pathway to peace. I resonated with your opening quotes because, of course, we know that everything begins here. That peace is an inside job. And when we can embrace and hold the energy of peace within, it just radiates out into the field and lifts the field of peace for us all. So how do we, I think your question was, how do we create that pathway to peace? I think we are doing that by being peace. And when we act out of that peace, then any action we take that comes from that place is going to net us the results of peace on our planet. I would just add that we live in just amazing times right now, where we are coalescing around both the science merging with the sacred texts to tell us that we all are connected. And we are all one. That's not news to you. It's everyone's talking about it. And this is what we came for, really, to experience. Because once we truly know that we are one, then peace will prevail on earth. Because we certainly can't go to war on ourselves. We certainly can't oppress ourselves. We certainly can't abuse ourselves. We certainly can't allow ourselves to be hungry. And so it's just really exciting for me to be a witness to this awakening that is grounded in scientific fact and, of course, has been carried within our heart forever. So for me, that's about peace consciousness and the recognition that we are always contributing to the field. A good friend of mine, in response to, how do we respond to war? She said, if we're warring inside, that's what we're putting into the field. That's what we're creating. If we're peaceful inside, if we're compassionate, if we're kind with, then that's what we're putting into the field. And so peace consciousness, is a felt experience. So even though we can talk about it, and we certainly do at Pathways to Peace, peace consciousness is built into our strategic plan. So it's something we endeavor to evolve and expand, but it's really a felt experience. So it comes out of daily practice. And whatever practice one engages in, that really does allow that inner peace to prevail. And then, of course, as I said, radiate out. That's the collective pathway to peace. I hope I answered your question. Terry, I kind of lost, but it's all exactly
I love
right.
I love the passion, and I love that I think the three of us here together are so passionate about this topic, and
yes,
it's just so beautiful to share, and thank you for that beautiful share, and I was just in awe what you were saying. So thank you for that. And yes, a collective consciousness of peace. I love.
And it's happening all around us.
Yes.
We can see it, we hear it, we feel it. And so regardless of all of the destruction, which is necessary, I believe, for us to then create the new earth, which is within and therefore without. Yes.
MarBeth, I love your ideas.
Well, what was coming up for me, and I shared a little bit of this in a meditation for the meditation a day. Basically, what I envision, and I toss this out I have a little class that we meet every couple of weeks. And I just tossed this out today. And, and it was also an extension of this meditation. What is our, who is God source? What is that? Hmm. And, and so, I used to think when I was young, I had the image of some, guy sitting up in a throne.
It's us.
Yeah, I know. But when it comes right down to it, I see, I've been in this meditation, I've been sending love out through my crown to God, source. And I see it like going out because it's not a person. There's no limits to God, our creator. There are no limits. So I just see this immense, limitless awareness. And when I send my love out, yes, and my awareness merges with this field, which is love and peace, then I am limitless. And when I perceive all of my brothers and sisters, they're not bodies, they are also this pure awareness. We are all mixed up together in this limitless field of consciousness, which is peace. So if we know that we're already there, this has already happened.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Yeah, and then where do we go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we continue to be that peace, to hold that energy, that vision. And again, this is everywhere. I don't think I can provide any wisdom that's new, but it's worth repeating that all of our society's ills around our planet, because we are one community, one global community, that all of those ills fall at the feet of that myth of separation. Mm-hmm. And we have never been separate. We could never be separate. So it is a myth that is, I will say, quickly being dispelled as we're waking up as a planetary community to the consciousness. And for me, it doesn't matter if we talk about unity consciousness, peace consciousness, oneness consciousness, they're all the same.
All the same.
Because if we hold that higher frequency of consciousness, then all good things are there. Because they always have been. But as you said, we now become aware of our own true nature and the nature of humanity and the planet as a whole, which is goodness, which is love. Love is always the driving force. So I love that, MarBeth. Thank you. And we have something at Pathways to Peace called the Peace Way. You may have heard about it. Our beloved founder, who passed a year and a half ago, Avon Madison, founded it in 1983. It was after she had been a leader in getting the United Nations to create the International Day of Peace by unanimous resolution. And nothing really had happened after that in 1981. And so she led a 19-country gathering. And remember, this was in 1983, before technology. So long distance phone calls and letters to come together around the globe for the first International Day of Peace. That was held in San Francisco, which is the birthplace of the UN. But that happened later in 1983, but earlier in 1983, nothing really was happening after the resolution at the UN had passed. And so as a way, in her words, to make Peace Day every day, she created the Peace Wave. And the Peace Wave was then grounded into practice in 1983 to be practiced at noon in every time zone. And it was called the Peace Wave, or a minute of silence, a moment of peace. And it was just to take 1 minute at noon every day at that time zone, creating a wave that washed around the planet.
Oh, beautiful.
Of peace. Yes. And today there are thousands, if not millions of people. We don't know how many, but all the time people say, yes, and I practice the Peace Wave every day. And so when we talk about any practice that takes you into your heart, you know, the Eastern sages say that we lead with the heart and the mind will follow. And so that's the source of that love, that compassion, that unity, that oneness. All of those good things reside within the heart. And so if we take just a moment to come into our hearts, regardless of what the practice is, our mind will align with that, and we'll put that beautiful energy you talked about, MarBeth, that frequency, that vibration goes out into the field and lifts the energy for all. So yeah, I love that. It's about practice, but it doesn't have to be. I love TM. I don't practice it myself, but I love it. I don't have the focus for it. So for me, my practice has to be very short, very quick, and yet very impactful. And so I do honor the Peace Wave. And in the morning, my intention that it's set every morning is to, my commitment is to bring love into every interaction. And so then throughout the day, every interaction provides an opportunity for me to love, which the task is its own reward, right? Because even though I'm delivering that love through those interactions, it comes back to me tenfold.
Always, yes.
Always. Yes.
Which is so beautiful.
It is.
I know the Global Coherence also has a project which is extending love over the planet. So it's beautiful that all of these experiences are happening simultaneously. No accident here.
Yes, actually, HeartMath has the Global Coherence Project, and I'm a HeartMath trained certified trainer, and Shevakar and Robert Browning, who are co-directors of HeartMath programming, are on our council for Pathways to Peace. We have a sister relationship with HeartMath.
I could feel that.
Well, and HeartMath, the Global Coherence Project, is a pathway to global peace.
Oh, absolutely.
Very simple techniques that, yes, will, if followed, bring us global peace.
Absolutely. I do it every day. Yeah.
Yes.
That's the way I start my morning, and the way I start in my night is with the heart-brain coherence. And
yes,
what a difference it makes. I typed in that beautiful thing that you said. We lead with the heart and the mind will follow. Mm-hmm. I just love that. I want to remember that in all that we do.
Yes, because, so often the mind has gotten a bad rap, right? That, we have to set aside our mind to be able to focus on the heart. And truly, the mind is God-given as well. We are whole organisms.
They're partners.
Yes. And it's just about integration, right? Yes. It is about being fully whole and integrated. And so we want to engage the mind in right action. It's just that it begins in the heart. And that's what leads us into that right action, whether we're conscious of it or not. That's the process.
Beautiful.
So beautiful. And, every night I'm part of a chanting group that chants for peace in our world. And we always end the night with a declaration. I'd like to share that declaration and just get your response from the two of you.
Beautiful.
So we've been doing this for 1,000 and I believe 17 days in a row, every night without fail. So our declaration is, we declare that there is peace on earth, and we declare that peace begins inside of us.
Yes.
And we have said that now for that many nights, every night, and coming from the heart, saying it and fully believing it.
Yeah.
And asking others to join us in that declaration, so that throughout the world we can be more aware that it does come from inside of us. So I would love your response to what we're putting out there into the world.
Well, first of all, I love the Buddhist chanting. I have been familiar with that for about 50 years. It's great stuff. That what you're basically saying is the unity prayer. Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me, which is just beautiful. So it's just being an extension. So there's so many millions of people already saying, let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. And I imagine that there is a tipping point. I've heard that it's said that there's a tipping point. And when enough of us are in that place, the planet will just follow suit. Everything will come into alignment. So I hope that's true. I don't know.
I believe it's true.
I do too.
I believe it. And it's such a small percentage of us.
Yes.
And I'll for certain say the wrong percentage because I would. But I'm going to say it's 2% or less of us that need to wake up for that tipping point to turn. And it's like this, right? It's not like we're here and then we're there. We are growing into that, and we're seeing evidence of that everywhere. And I thought of the unity prayer to sung, of course, when you spoke that beautiful chant. Yes. And I have soul sisters who I love dearly, who really are rooted in the peace movement in beautiful and profound ways that end every kind of event with "May peace prevail on earth." And I've found myself just not being able to say that. Instead, I say at the close of our events, most of them, "and peace prevails on earth." Because just what you said, MarBeth, that we need to own it. We need to own it. And it is here. It is done. We just haven't yet. Again, our awareness has not. Just like there is no separation. Peace already prevails. We just aren't yet all aware of it.
Exactly.
Some of us are, thankfully.
Yes. And more people are.
Yes. Yes, exactly. And isn't it fun to witness that? I feel like for years, my guides gave me the charge of co-creating the new earth. And for a while, and it was it was still happening. I just wasn't in the right place to witness it. But now that I have this extraordinary position where I'm with others who really are consciously aware, they are conscious of peace prevailing on earth. It's just, and that we are all one. It's just extraordinary and an extraordinary privilege. And so I'm grateful every day. And I love chanting. And I always feel like song is a quick trip to gratitude. Just an immediate connection to source. And so, yes. Thank you for sharing it.
Absolutely. And the more gratitude we put out, and the more peace we're going to have, because it's right up there with love in the energy of it.
Yes, it's the awareness of love. When we're aware of love, then we experience gratitude.
Yeah. So beautiful.
Appreciation, which is also so important to the process.
Yes.
Yes. You know, you were talking about how few of us it takes to turn things around. And I love that. I have heard the statistic that one person vibrating at the higher frequency of love, gratitude, appreciation, that we counterbalance the lower vibrations of 750,000 people.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, so it really does take so few of us to make that huge impact, that wave that you were talking about that goes out when we just focus our energy. And, you know, MarBeth and I are part of a project where we're looking at doing that to focus energy and put that wave out there. And I just love that thought. And I want more people to be aware of how we do impact others with our energy. So if we're
so powerful, we're each so powerful just by coming from a place of extending love and peace, you affect everybody around you.
That's right. And again, it was profound for me. Well, I have always known, or feel like I've always known, that love projected out, you know, that vibration lifts the field for everyone. I hadn't thought about it till how profound it was when my friend said, and if we're warring inside, that's what we're projecting out. And it's like, yes, of course, it works both ways. And what is the way to respond to war? It's by, you know, holding in that energy and radiating it out to our world. And then, of course, we get to act out of that, being led to what our unique role is in taking action.
Absolutely.
To build peace.
And it's so beautiful that people respond to our energy. So if I'm walking through my experience in life, holding an energy of peace and love in my heart, that's what I'm going to experience because I'm drawing in that to me.
Yeah.
So just imagine if more in the world are getting to that place of inner peace. And I think that's going to be that tipping point you were talking about. If we can just keep educating and keep sharing out. And that's why this program exists. It's an incubator for love so that people can see that they can do this as well. You can hold that energy of peace.
Sure.
You can hold the energy of love. And it does make a difference. Even our animals respond to that. You know, I'm an animal communicator, and I've had so many people say, well, why does my dog bark all the time? Or, you know, why do they act this way? And I go, well, let's look at the home environment. You know, are you putting out peace, or are you all scattered and chaotic? Because the animal is going to respond to whatever the environment is.
And they're
like
so empathic too. Animals are very empathic, and they take
pure
your energy.
They're pure intuition. I
Yes.
love animals too, and have always been deeply connected to the animal kingdom. And my doggie's laying in her bed at my feet right now. So, and she may decide to join the conversation. We'll see, because they are such amazing companions. But yes, and people notice. I mean, people notice that like attracts like, the people around us. And again, I'll say, you know, the task is its own reward. If everyone could think about being love as a task, oh my goodness, it is just so rewarding to live into that love energy. Okay.
And the Course in Miracles says to have peace, teach it. So how do we teach it? We embody it.
That's right.
We embody it, and people are like, wow, I want
Yes.
that.
Mhm. And
Just by example.
Yeah.
yes, and I'm a student of A Course in Miracles and A Course of Love. And the Course of Love, of course, says that the time of learning is gone. We just need to remember who we are. We need to remember who we are.
Yeah.
And we are divine. How could we not be?
Yes.
Because we are forever connected eternally to Source.
Yeah. I love that. Yes. Big Course in Miracles fan here. We teach it every night online. So I love what you said, that our task would be to be love and to exude that. So I know what I do, my practice when I get up first thing in the morning and put that energy out. So share with our viewers, if you would, what your thoughts would be of how we can take on this task every day. What's some things we can do to bring that to our conscious awareness?
Well, I guess I can begin with that. I've already shared a little bit, and then I'm really curious about what you had to say, MarBeth. And so for me, it is really the embodiment of that which comes over time through practice. And so it's no longer a task for me to be love. It's natural for me to be love. There are things that come up in my day, my week, my month that can pull me out of that. And immediately I can feel that disalignment.
Mm-hmm.
And then it is about asking, what is that about? What is that feeling about? And I know I can shift it. We talked about heart math, and we can certainly do quick coherence and shift that energy. But I don't want to miss the gift in it. And so, or the learning or the discovery. So as soon as I feel that out of alignment, I just ask Source, what is that? And I always get a response that helps me in my own commitment to my own evolution. Because ultimately, we need to be selfish here. You know, we all need to first be committed to our own evolution, our loving ourselves, forgiving ourselves, all of those good things needs to begin with us if it's going to radiate out in its pure form to others. And so I'll say again, any practice that brings those positive emotions into the heart, whether it's for me beginning my day with saying, help me to remember to bring love into every interaction, then that feels good. It doesn't, I mean, any practice that makes you feel guilty, I should have done my meditation longer, or oh my goodness, my mind drifted when get rid of all of that, because what's right for you will bring you joy, will bring you peace, will make you feel good. And so find that practice that makes you feel good and practice it until you feel like you need something else. And it will result in your own evolution and your own ability, because this is what enlightenment, evolution, whatever we wish to call it, is all about higher levels of loving yourself and knowing who you are. That's what we're here for. It's a simple task, but not easy. Simple, but not easy. And so that's what I would say just to kick off the conversation.
That's so beautiful, Tezikiah. I love it. Yeah, I love to start my day with a meditation. And lately it's been evolving into the one that I shared with you, just sending love out to God,
Yes.
To source. And then also, as part of that, I also send it out to all of our brothers and sisters. I go through God and spirit and all the archangels and the angels. And then I go through the masters and the teachers and the guides. And then the more love that you extend, of course, the more you're receiving. And then I go through all my loved ones who've passed and everybody on the planet. So I think I got everybody covered.
And then you get to send it out to the world as a whole and the universe. So
yes. And all sentient beings in the universe and beyond. So,
yes.
So then I go outside and I start appreciating everything around me in nature, because what that does is it just elevates the love.
Yes. Yes.
And then I start expressing my love and gratitude to Source.
Yeah.
So at that point, I'm in a really good place.
Yes.
And if I feel that I've shifted from that, which doesn't happen that often, but it just happened the other day. I got thrown off kilter by an old trigger. And so, I asked, how can I deal with this? And I was guided to open up A Course in Miracles, and I read the perfect 2 pages, and it was like, yeah, thank you. And of course, throughout the day, I started to see everything, just totally shifted, just beautiful, harmonious, loving. And to be radiating that love, I know that's what I need to be doing. That's my role.
Yes.
My job.
Yep.
So, and it feels really good, and coming from a place without judgment. Although that's a hard one for most people living on this planet, to eliminate the judgment. I find that creeps up when I'm not looking. And, but yeah, I try to come from a place of being neutral and just coming from that love and non-judgment. And if I find myself judging, I step back. If I find myself feeling off or angry or some emotion comes up, it's just easy at this point to be able to shift it. Like, it's not really where I want to be.
Yeah. Yes, you feel
I like this other feeling.
Yes. And for some people, being in nature is the best way to connect to Source. And it's perfect. Whatever feels good, whatever is going to bring us into connection is unique and right for us. I love what you said about non-judgment, because typically that's what will throw me out of alignment. Is a judgment will come up. And then it's like, what is that about? And if I'm open, I often get a gift of something that needed to be discovered and kind of allowed to be released and to bring love to it, because it's there for a reason, right?
Oh, it's there for.
And so, yeah. And so, as you were talking, I say this often, but again, the sages tell us that there are 3 ways to connect with God. Prayer, which is when we're talking to God. Meditation, which is when God is talking to us. And conversation, which is the give and take. And I love being in conversation. And that's just how my day is. I'm in constant conversation with Source. And, we at one point in my own, I don't like to say enlightenment because people begin to feel the comparisons. So
Yeah.
I choose to talk about my own evolution. In my own evolution, at one point, when I recognize that I am divine and that I am Source, that it's like, so then who am I talking to? Right?
Right.
And then I realized it doesn't matter, because I am talking to all that is, all that was, all that will ever be. And so, and it gives me comfort to be able to kind of speak to Source, even while recognizing that I am Source as well. So a little bit of heresy there.
Yeah, I love that. One of my favorite things that I learned from Dr. Wayne Dyer, excuse me, is if you put a comma after the word that, when you say, I am that, I am, and then we really understand we are everything. I am you and you are me. And
That's
everything that we see we are that. And so when we say, who am I talking to? We're talking to it all.
Yes.
Comprehensive oneness of all that is. And I just love that.
And we are the drop and we are the ocean. So
Yes.
it's that kind of, can we wrap our minds around it? Perhaps not, but it doesn't matter. It just is. I think sometimes understanding is greatly overrated. Instead, we just need to accept what is, what truth is. And on some level deep here, we do recognize truth. We do resonate with truth.
You don't need to understand it. You can just be it.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Yes.
Wow. Oh gosh, ladies, I have loved this conversation today. Yeah, how beautiful. The angels have told me many times, you're not going to understand everything. And we try to come from up here to understand it, and we can't. You have to understand it in your heart and say, okay, I might not get it. I might not see the purpose and all of that, but I know that there's a divine plan. And so it's that allowance and acceptance of that divine plan that leads us to the peace, which is what we're talking about here today for those of you just joining us. And we have a beautiful audience, and thank you all. They're loving the conversation. Thank you. I'm loving the conversation as well.
Yeah.
The beautiful interchange. And I know we're coming to a place of having to wrap this up. Our wonderful guest, Tezikiah, has an event that's going on that's just amazing to me at the UN. And what I love about what you shared with us before we went on the air is that it's the youth that are being highlighted right now. The youth are our future. If we can instill this in them, this message of peace and hope, and bring that forward to our future generation, wow, just look at the progress that we'll make and the inroads we'll make. So please share with us, Tezikiah, if you would take a moment and just share some of what you're doing and how people can reach out to you if they want to learn more about you and Pathways to Peace. How do we do that?
What we're doing, oh my goodness, we're very busy at Pathways to Peace. You can reach me very simply at Tez, T as in Tom, E, Z as in zebra, at pathwaystopeace.org, all lowercase letters. So we're in the middle right now of the UN Commission on the Status of Women. It's the 67th, so it's called CSW 67. Pathways to Peace. In our core values, we state a firm core value around intergenerational empowerment. And so we have a lot of youth of all ages that we have the opportunity to work with. And I have to say, I learn as much from them as they do from me, sometimes more. And I always tell them that, and everyone, that that wisdom isn't measured by age, because our youth are coming in these days with incredible wisdom and knowledge about how to create that new earth. And so when it comes to our youth, my role is to provide a platform for their voice to be heard. And that's what our event is at CSW 67 tonight. It's our fifth. We have 5 events. This is our 4th. We have another one on advocacy tomorrow, which our youth are also engaged with. But this one is on education for equality and empowerment of women and girls. And the first part of it is Youth Speak! Exclamation point. Because the youth came to me and said, this is what we want to present on at CSW. And we've had them present last year. They created and presented 3 events out of our 11. So they've been preparing now to present this year. I think it's going to be incredible. Their ages are 15 to 18. And we have 2 16-year-olds that serve on our governing council at Pathways to Peace. So
Wow.
we incorporate youth into everything we do because we want their wisdom, we want their influence. And if we look around the world, it's the youth that are really changing what needs to change. So I love their passion. So there's still time if anyone wants to have the link, the Zoom link, to enter into our event this evening. And if you're available, it starts at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So quickly email me and I'll get you that link.
And so I'm going to put in your email address so people can do that and really easily.
Thank you. And we do, I mean, we don't only work with youth, we work with everyone. We work kind of around the globe. A lot of our work that we do is educational. We also do consultation with peace building organizations, and we also have projects. I should say, as long as you ask, that on the International Women's Day, we launched our 2nd annual, Terry, you'll know about this, our 2nd annual Exceptional Women of Peace Awards. And so nominations are open. So if you go to our website, which is pathwaystopeace.org, and go to the Exceptional Women of Peace program, the online nomination form is there. So let's honor women around our world who are working for peace, including both of you.
Oh, thank you, Tez.
Yeah.
Yes, I encourage everyone to look at your wonderful website. There's so much there. And just go find out all the things that are being done by this organization. And I just want to personally thank you for your work and making inroads into bringing more peace into our world. Thank you so much for being here with us today. So enjoyed you and all that you brought forth.
It's such an honor, really, Terry. Honestly, it's such an honor, Mama Peace. And
Thank you.
MarBeth, it was a delight to meet you. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
And MarBeth, we have time if you would love to share with you what you're doing and ways people can reach you. I know you're a very busy woman and you're also so focused on bringing more peace into our world. And I so appreciate you and everything that we have done together and will do together.
Oh, I'm so looking forward to it. We're going to tease you a little bit because Terry and I and another wonderful woman are involved in an amazing project for peace, and we will be sharing more about it as time progresses. And but I just want to say, Tez, that this was such an amazing opportunity, just a beautiful experience to meet you and bask in your energy. I've been just looking at your aura, and it's just like so gorgeous. So yeah, it's really beautiful. I see green all around you. Yeah, it's really beautiful.
The heart.
Yeah, I know. All heart.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So
thank you.
Yeah, and I see that. And so I work with people individually and in groups when I'm not working for peace. And you can reach me at MarBeth at MarBethDunn.com. And I have an ebook, which is 7 Easy Ways to Harness the Power of Miracles. And that's at yourmiraclepower.com.
Typing this in as you're speaking.
Thank you, sweetheart. This was just so lovely to be able to join you this evening. And I'm just really, I know, Tezikiah, we're going to be definitely working together. I can feel it.
Yes. That heart connection, that soul connection is there.
Mm-hmm.
I feel it too. Thank you.
There is. I have chills all over.
I know. You have the most amazing people on your podcast, on your Peapodcast.
I love it. The angels told me at the end of last year to do this, and I do it every week on Tuesdays. And we've just had some amazing, beautiful discussions about different topics. Peace being my number one, that I absolutely am holding that heart space for it to expand more into the world. But yeah, how beautiful to have you two here and this wonderful connection that I really feel it. And MarBeth, I think we're going to be really sharing a lot with Pathways to Peace about our project.
I have a feeling we're going to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Makes my heart sing.
Me too.
So thank you, everyone who tuned in today. We've had a beautiful audience. They're loving it. And Jean says, thank you for taking your time to talk with each other and give us such beautiful information. That's what this is all about, is bringing it out to the world. So we enjoy you so much. And we'll be back again next week with another wonderful discussion. Check out the resources that I typed into the comments, and stay in your hearts, stay blessed, and share that smile with someone today, because it may be the only one they see, and you may be the one that just shares something with them that's in them that they're not aware of yet. And that's where it all begins, that inner peace. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And we will see you later. Namaste, y'all. Bye, everyone. Bye, Tez. Bye, MarBeth. Thank you again for being here.
Oh, thank you, Terry.